So as we arrived here with the Amstel River just there, it gave me this instant transmission or download of a message that I felt was right for you. And if you are somebody who's been experiencing a little bit of confusion, like you're supposed to be doing something else, you're supposed to be living in another space or moving house or moving country, or you're supposed to be in a different relationship or career, which kind of follows a little bit from my last video where I said maybe we just need to dim down our confusion a little bit. But I don't want you to misunderstand that, because what I'm not saying is settle with what you have, because maybe you're destined for more. I'm going to say that again. I didn't mean to say settle for what you have, because maybe, just maybe, you are destined for more. And while I was watching the river flow and its water, going back to what Bruce Lee once said, be like water, my friend. What does that mean? It means we are water. We're made of water. You don't need to try and be, but it's more about remembering who you truly are, fluid, and always going back into that big ocean where anything is possible and anywhere is possible. And that's who you actually are. And so this message that I'm feeling you have attracted yourself to today as you fluidly clicked on this video and you're here now is a reminder that you are infinite, that you are God's child, that you are the universe, that you are divine, that you are infinite, that you are not supposed to be bound by certain rules, that you are what Steve Jobs once said, that square peg in a round hole, and you are that rebel. Deep down inside, you know there's a rebellious side of yourself which doesn't want to be bound by society and systems and rules and governed by all of what other people may think, because you know that there's something more deep down inside your soul. And I'm telling you something here. Stop following that mind and that brain, that conditioned mind and brain of yours, because it's limited and your thinking is purely just a conditioning of what other people have told you you can and cannot do and should or should not be. Instead, you are far greater than that. And only when we start to acknowledge not our mind calling us, but our soul calling. And what is that soul calling? That soul calling you feel every single day, because it's that twitch. It's that thing that makes you question what you're living right now. It's that thing that makes you feel like, hey, I know this don't make sense because everybody says that I have it all. But for some reason I feel like there must be a bigger meaning to life. There must be more to this. Do you ever feel that way? Do you ever feel and ask that question, why are we here? Why do we get put on this planet just so that we can live, just so that we can die? No, there must be more to this. But then what starts answering that question is this big word, savor. S-E-V-A, savor. That word for service. So when you're lost and you're feeling like, I don't know where I should begin finding my true purpose or where I should be flowing towards, well, first, start with self-love, serve yourself. Once you serve yourself and you give yourself and you serve your craving, your soul's craving. Sometimes people say, but I don't know what I want. And I remember an old mentor of mine once said, if you don't know what you want, then start thinking about what you don't want and move away from that. And that will one day take you to exactly what you want. Because if the relationship that you're in right now is not satisfying you, then you know that's not what you want. If the career is not satisfying you, then you know that's not what you want. But then you don't move away, probably because you're scared, you're afraid of the unknown. But like in our last video, we mentioned that unknown is inevitable if you're trying to break through and become the 2.0 version of yourself that you have not yet met, then you're going to need to go places that you've never been and do things you've never done, and therefore it's going to be scary, but that's part of the journey, and it's okay, because every path that's been made and for you to walk, I mean, that was created by the Creator, the same Creator that created you, me, and everything around us. And what is there not to be safe about when life itself is not a guarantee? Nothing can guarantee you and me will be here the next moment or tomorrow or the week after. Even those who let this sink in for one moment, past today, they probably had today planned. But that greater energy, for whatever that reasoning, whether you call it karma or destiny, for whatever reason, certain people's lives were taken away today, but you and your life was not taken away. You and me were still here. There's more. There's more to it. And you didn't land on this video by accident, because nothing happens by accident. And I know deep down inside you know that. We can call it the algorithm, but the algorithm doesn't reach everybody. It reaches certain people. When you are aligned, then you get the message. So this is kind of like a gentle reminder from the universe to live fully. Follow that calling that's calling you inside. And if you don't know where it's calling you towards, but what you do know is what it's calling you away from. And maybe that's just enough to make you know that this might not be it. This job might not be it. This relationship might not be it. And if I take that leap of faith and I step away from this thing that might not be it, then I will eventually get to the thing that is it. And let me tell you something. Everyone around you will tell you otherwise. Why? Not because, or necessarily because they don't want you to succeed, but it's because that's their belief. That's their fear. That's how they've lived their life. But are they truly fulfilling their highest purpose and their highest calling? For most people, the answer is no. So the question is this: are you going to take that leap of faith? Are you going to step forward or step out of what you're in today, so that you clear space to be able to receive the opportunities of the new, what the divine has planned for you, those miracles that are beyond your imagination? Or are you going to continuously be stuck in this hamster wheel? That mind, that human conditioned mind, where there's all these boundaries. It's obviously for you to decide.